Powerful and provocative, prophetic and practical,
Have you ever found yourself?
Are you dating for that person?
informative and
I feel
inspirational.
every bit of it. Like, I'm not trying to waste my
How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do. Come on, let's talk about it with me, the mind massager. Hey, what's up, y'all? Share this. Invite some people in. We'll get started in just a minute. I'm trying to share this to a couple of places. I'm about ready. Almost ready. I got to share one more place. Because if I don't, I get in trouble. Y'all like my music? I love my music. I ain't gonna lie. I love my music. Come on in. 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 Oh, I got to bring in Instagram. My bad. See if I can still get them. I think I still can. Hold on, I got to bring Instagram in. Hold on, I'm almost there. I promise I'm almost there. Give me 1 second. Already bad. If I can get them, if I can't get them, it's okay. Okay, yeah. We in. All right, good. Y'all sticking with me, cool. Y'all stuck with me, cool. All right, let me turn this to y'all. If you haven't said hello yet, and I'm sure you have. All right, what's up? What it do? Time for another episode of the Intellectual Stew with yours truly. What up, kinfolk? I see my cousin Kiki. I see Lisa. What it do? I see Kimala. Hey, how you doing? All right, can I get an A and B selection tonight, Kimala? Kimala is so anointed. That's my partner. Every time I see her sing on Facebook, I put that little oily barrel. They probably don't know what that means, but that barrel means oily, meaning she's anointed. Dwayne Dwyer, what up, dude? How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Y'all, if you're not following, put the name of your podcast in. He's on YouTube and Facebook, but he's the mental mindset coach. and he has some real good thoughts. And I like going to hear what those brothers are talking about on his particular podcast. But you all know, if you've been following me for the last few weeks, I've been really dealing with understanding this whole thing called a calling, really trying to get it right, because some of us, we're called to something, we just don't know what. And because we're called to something and we don't know what, it leaves us wandering aimlessly, leaves us at a point where we're not quite ever getting full. We kind of empowering perspectives on YouTube. That's what it is. But tonight, I wanted to kind of continue that theme. Last week, we looked at Jonah. What did Lisa? Yeah, we looked at Jonah last week, and we talked about struggle or surrender, because it's surrender or struggle, because he didn't want to struggle. He had a calling on his life, and as opposed to answering that call, he chose to run from his responsibility. And it left him in a ruptured state, because at the end of it all, he found himself at the bottom of a lake, a body of water, in the bottom of a body of water, in the belly of a fish. And all of us have had a belly of the fish moment, if we're honest. So if you missed last week's episode, go back and check that one out. But tonight we're doing something different. We're going to talk about breaking the agony of almost. Breaking the agony of almost. I want us, Brother Dwyer, Kiki, Kimala, I want us, and if you all have not shared this yet, please share it. People, the way we get more people is through engagement, right? So the more we engage, the more we communicate, the more we talk about. We like it, share it. Then more people step in, and we can kind of, get more eyes on this, what we're talking about tonight. And I think it's a very necessary topic. A lot of the stuff that I talk about, to be truthful, are things that I go through. These are things that I go through, or I have gone through. Things that I go through, or I've gone through. And not only have I gone through it, most of these things I've grown through. I can kind of look back in the rearview mirror and say, what, that was my testimony. And when you have a testimony, then it's your responsibility to share that testimony so that other people can hear that same testimony and hopefully, prayerfully find encouragement in what you say or what you've gone through. So tonight, I wanted us to look at this particular subject, and we're going to talk about breaking the agony of almost. Why do we want to break the agony of almost? Because what we ultimately want to do tonight, Stu Crew, is ultimately we want to step into our God-appointed destiny. We'll step into our God-appointed destiny. And that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the agony of almost. You know what I mean? When I talk about the agony of almost, I mean you almost finished the degree. You almost started that business. You almost walked in your purpose. You almost healed from that heartbreak. But for some reason, you kind of get stuck on almost avenue. Am I talking to anyone tonight? I mean, you keep getting, you're trying to make it to 100, but you can't seem to make it to 100 because you're stuck at 99. Am I the only one? Because I'm telling you, I was there at some point. In fact, songwriter caught a hold of that thing, Lisa, and he said, Lord, I'm running, trying to make, Lord, I'm running, trying to, how did soprano hit? Trying, I can't gonna do it, but trying to make 199 and a half. Not even 99 and a half will do. Right? So, and so many people are stuck on almost avenue. So many people are on barely get along boulevard. And because 99, Brother Dwyer, is an A, it's really an A plus. What a lot of us do when we get to 99 or 99 and a half is we say we're cool. That's good enough. We put up a mailbox. We plan on staying here for a while. We make this a place of permanence. But 99 and a half was never our intended destiny. And but if you are Kiki, Dwayne Dwyer, Lisa, if you are on Almost Avenue, if you're stuck in 99, if that's you, I need you to stay locked in for, give me about 45 minutes, because tonight we're going to break the agony of almost. If you haven't shared this yet, you should. You really should. You really should. Because tonight we're going to break the agony of almost. And tonight I'm going to help you step fully into your purpose. That's right. Let me put that comment on the screen. Brother Dwyer just said something. Good enough is the enemy of great. Because so many of us are comfortable on Almost Avenue. And Almost Avenue, you know, you might have graduated from Barely Get Along Boulevard, because, you know, so many people live on Barely Get Along Boulevard that Almost Avenue almost looks like the penthouse, but it's not. God never meant for us to, God never intended for us just to live on Almost Avenue. That's not our destiny. So here's the problem. The problem is that so many of us are stuck on 99. If that's you, do me a favor, just raise your hand and put it in the chat right quick. If that's you, if you're one of the ones, if the truth be told, and I want you to be honest with me tonight. If the truth be told, if you're one of the ones that are stuck on, or you have been stuck on 99, just just let somebody know you identify. Let them know that they're not by themselves. Go ahead and just put a hand up. Some of y'all have already done it before. There you go. Lisa said she did it. She said she did it. If that's you, go ahead and let's be real, because there's nothing, and this is my testimony. I know I can't talk for anybody else, but there is nothing more frustrating than feeling like you're right there. I mean, you're anybody, you know what I'm talking about? I mean, nothing more frustrating than feeling like you are right there. You can almost taste it. I mean, you're at the point where you're about to break through. You really feel like you're almost there, but for some reason you just can't cross over. And the funny part is, Judge Green, you got the talent. Brother Dwyer, you got the vision. Lisa, you got the desire. You got everything. You got everything that seems to be necessary to be successful, but for some reason you just can't cross over. So answer this question: why aren't you farther along? If you've got the talent, you got the know-how, you got the human ingenuity, you're creative, you got the internet, you got Chat GPT, you got all the tools that are necessary. There's nothing that should be holding you back. So answer this: why aren't you farther along if that's the case? I'll tell you why. Let me break it down. First reason you're not farther along. Here it is. Write it in. Lisa, do me a favor. Put these in the chat for me, Lisa. Lisa, put them in the chat for me. The first reason a lot of people aren't farther along is because of a fear of failure. Fear of failure. Fear of failure. Let me see what talent was never intended to get you to the finish line. No, never. But we think it's enough. We think it's enough. But first one, fear of failure. We're scared that if we try, it won't work. That's the first reason. Because anybody ever been there? You knew you had the talent, you knew you had the money, you knew you had everything, and you felt like you had the calling, and it had to be something, because something was tugging on the altar of your heart. You know, I'll get to, I'm from Keisha. I ain't from Wabasika. I ain't from Tucker, but I am from Sherrill. I'm from Pastoria, Arkansas. And see, when mother Edna was alive, my grandmother, when she was alive, grandmother would start cooking dinner. It was crazy. She would start cooking dinner about 1 or 2 o'clock, right? And she would let that food simmer and, and all that kind of stuff. And we would eat by 4 or 5 o'clock. And she would feed us stuff like beans and cornbread, right? She feed us beans and cornbread. I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now, because I watch my children go back and forth to the refrigerator all night long, going back and forth to the refrigerator. Because when you feed them certain things, those certain things don't satisfy them. They only satisfy them for the moment, right? But when grandmama gave us beans and cornbread, Brother Dwyer, what the beans and cornbread did was it stuck to our bones. So 4, 5, 2, 3, 4 hours later, we we wasn't hungry. We wasn't in the popcorn. We wasn't in the refrigerator trying to get. We didn't have a microwave back then. We had to put it on the stove and put a little grease in it, drop 3 little kernels in it. Then when those 3 kernels popped, then it was time for then the grease was ready. So then we put the rest of the popcorn in, cover it up. No, you know how it went. But we didn't go back and forth to the kitchen because we had, as Brother Dwyer just said, we had fill up food. We had stuck this stuff to our bones, and it satisfied us. You know what's wrong with a lot of folk in the body of Christ right now is that their spirits are not satisfied because they're not walking in their God-appointed purpose. They thought they had talent and they could work. They could entertain their way through it. They thought they had money and they could buy their way out of it. They thought they looked pretty good, so their looks would get them in the room. They thought that they talk game was pretty good, so they could maneuver and manipulate to get themselves there. But when God is in the midst of everything that you're going on, if God is not in it and you don't feel purpose, you'll be stuck on you'll be stuck on almost avenue. You'll have a fear of failure. But not only a fear of failure, but some folk are afraid to succeed. Amen. Lights. Let me talk to the lights right quick. No, I'm talking to the lights. What's up, Emmanuel? Some people have a fear of succeeding. You know why? Because they're scared that if it does work, you won't be able to maintain that standard. That means you're going to have to be disciplined and get up off of your do nothing and do something consistently to make sure that whatever you're doing, you got to get up every day. You got to show up. And there have been many days when I was going through my depression and I was stuck on the couch and all those things. So many days, Lisa, so many days, Emmanuel, so many days, Dwayne, I didn't show up. And it wasn't that I didn't show up for other people. I didn't even show up for myself. And there was a fear of success because I was scared that if it did work, then I wouldn't be able to handle it. Let's see what my brother said. Dwayne. I'm going to put this phone up, and the phone number's up now. And I will slow down. It says, in today's society, what I've witnessed is that we are seekers of information, hence the information age, and failing to come to this. And the truth is relative, right? But I'm going to get you on the show in a few minutes. Okay. Fear of failure. Fear of success. Here's the other thing. This is another reason why so many of us aren't farther along. Because we lack clarity. We lack clarity. We know that we've been called, but we don't know what we've been called to. I told them last week on the webinar, find what you're passionate about, find what you're talented at, and find what was the third thing? But those three, I'm gonna remember it in a minute. But those 3 things are the things that somewhere interweaved is your passion. I mean, is your calling. Somewhere between your talent, somewhere between your passion. What's the other one, Brother Dwyer? I can't find my other notes. Yeah. If I remember it in a minute, I remember. So one is fear of failing. 2 is fear of succeeding. 3 is lack of clarity. You don't know what you're called to. But here's the main one. Oh my God. The 4th one is distractions and delays. Distractions and delays. Life just keeps on lifing. And life is going to keep lifing, right? My son, he's 26 now. He's grown, doing really well in real estate. But one advantage we tried to give him when he was younger, because he played baseball. He played a lot of baseball. And we took him to a professional hitting coach, right? And one advantage that the professional hitting coach gave him was he taught him, Brother Dwyer, how to hit the curveball, right? It was a way he could put the ball in the machine to make it curve. And what he was telling me is let it bend and then extend, because a curveball is going to come in one way and it's going to have a certain spin and then it's going to break, it's going to bend. And he says, don't swing until it bends. Once it bends, that's when you can extend your arm. If we learn to look at life the same way, And we learn how to look at the threads on the ball, learn how to notice the spin, notice how to look for the dot, just really focus in and see it so that when it bends, that's when we extend. But so many times we have distractions and delays, and we come, and you know what? We act like when we see a distraction, that was our first time seeing a distraction. Huh? Like for instance, let me give you that. Like for instance, if you broke now, is this your first time being broke? And if you were broke last time, didn't he bring you out last time? And if he brought, true story. Y'all know I haven't had a job since 2017. I mean, God, I get a phone call every month. I mean, my bills aren't late. God, I got fired from a job. I wrote about it, in my book. I wrote, if anybody had never read it yet, Stuck on the Couch. I wrote about it. I got fired from a job, and I got fired for not smiling. I got fired for not smiling. Now, at the time, I was going through a divorce. So who smiles while going through a divorce, right? So I'm very much kept. I mean, unto him who's able to keep full lasso. I mean, I'm straight. Kept. But I got fired. And when I got fired, I told God, I said, and this is me talking, I said, God, I'm not ever working for anybody who has the power to fire me again. And I meant that. And so since then, I don't know where next month's budget's gonna come from, but it always comes, right? And again, this month it was getting a little tedious. And I had 2 contracts that normally come through that don't come through, and they're pretty good sizable contracts. They pay pretty good. I'm not gonna say what I make because then it's none of your business, but I mean they pay pretty well. And both contracts this month wasn't gonna come through. And I knew it. I felt it. And God had been letting me live on grace for the last couple of years anyway. I knew it was coming. And so this morning, I'm getting a little low. Bills are paid. Another cycle's coming up. And I before I got out, I got out of bed this morning. I prayed an extra prayer, and I said, Lord, I need a phone call. I need a little favor. I need you to, don't forget about me over here. But the end of the month, it's coming. I said, and Lord, I need you to do what you do. Show up like you always do. And so I went on about my business. Got up this morning and got on TikTok. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably gonna start moving towards TikTok with a lot of what I'm doing. But I got on TikTok and when I was on TikTok, it was I had a good little conversation with a couple of people on there, but I know the prayer I prayed. I said, Lord, I know what I need, and all of a sudden I look at my phone and I get a text message. They said, you working this week? I said, no, I'm not working this week. And he said, all right, cool. He said, then he called me. He said, are you available? He said, what days are you available? I said, all week if you need me. What you need? He said, all right, cool. I need you all week. And now I'm not going to tell you how much I make a day, but I do pretty good. And then after that, I got another phone call. Somebody wanted the insurance policy. And when she called in, she was like, hey, I don't need the other policy, but I do need this policy for my son. And so we went through a whole little thing, and I called her on the phone. And when I called her, she was like, oh yeah. When I told her the quote, she was like, oh yeah, let's do it. So I wrote 2 insurance policies plus what I'm going to make this week going to work. And now that's really like a month's salary, for a lot of people. And thank God I get it in a week, so my point is you can't let distractions and delays stop you or block you from getting, because if God showed up in the past, my contention is he'll show up again. Does that make sense? And one thing about God is he's not like man. He's never been late on child support. He's never been negligent when it comes to taking care of his children. Think about it. Consider the lilies of the field. If he takes care of the birds, if he takes care of the lilies of, if in all of what he say, Solomon and all of his array could never compare to what he does with the lilies and the daffodils and the petunias and what it's amazing how God does what he does. And we're so concerned about distractions and delays as if the distractions and the delays define us. Can I tell you something? I'm going to give you a secret. Here's a hint. If anybody asks, tell them Kirkland told you. Our distractions and delays were never meant to destroy us. They were just meant to develop us. Come on, talk to me, somebody. I'll preach if y'all help me. The distractions and the delays were never meant to destroy us. They were just meant to develop us. But the problem is so many of us have allowed the distractions and the delays to make us demented. We allow them to make us think no, baby, you're supposed to be going through what you're going through. And sometimes groaning through what you're going through is what God plans for you to go through. Sometimes, Brother Dwyer, it's just like surgery with no anesthesia. You just got to go through it. You just got to go through it. Let me see what Brother Lisa said. Our distractions were never meant. No, they were meant to develop us. They're meant to develop us. Brother Dwyer says, I can't fault the curveball for not being a fastball. No. My desire for the fastball is a distractor, so I am looking at the incoming pitch, hoping it's a fastball, but you better distract. Distractor is internal, therefore the external reveals itself as a distraction. It's all about focus. And you know what? That's what my son would always sit on fastball and then adjust to the curveball. In other words, you're looking for one pitch. Because at the end of the day, if you understand baseball, we have this thing called a count. See, one pitch really doesn't define you. You can take a couple of pitches if you have to. I mean, because I dare that. Who's to say that joker, that pitcher can throw 3 curveballs for a strike? I mean, who's to say he can hit the strike zone 3 times? But if he messes around, Brother Dwyer, and throws the right fastball at the place where I'm expecting it to, I'm gonna knock it out the park. So I'm thinking fastball, but I'm adjusting for the curveball. Have I got a win? And he said you can almost predict the pitch when you know. Look here, if it's a 3-0 count and they don't want to walk me because they know I'm a steal second, guess what he's going to throw? He's going to throw a fastball and probably throw it right down the middle. Now, because it's 3-0 and I'm not selfish, I might take it 3-0. But 3-1, he's probably got to come with a fastball again. And guess what? When he comes to the fastball this time, I'm going to knock it out the park. You know why? Because I've seen a fastball before. I know what a fastball looks like. I know it's in the T zone. So I'm swinging right there. And if I hit it right, I'm going to knock it out the park. But we allow distractions and delays to destroy us instead of develop us. Guess what? It's all perception. It's all how you look at your distraction. It's all how you look at your delays. Because guess what? Your delay is not a denial. And if it's a delay, guess what? If I got to hang around here for a little while, I'm going to master the material where I am. I want to know what kind of grass grows. I want to know what kind of trees these are. Are they edible? Are they medicinal? I mean, I need to know it because you know what? If I got to go through the valley, I might as well learn valley tactics. Come on. We can call the unseen as seen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So now I told you 4 reasons. Well, the first reason we're not farther along is because of fear of failing. Number 2 is fear of succeeding. Number 3 is lack of clarity. Number 4 is distractions and delays. But here it is for the spiritual folk. The 4th reason is because of spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare. Listen, the enemy knows your purpose and he knows that it's powerful. So he keeps you bound by confusion and doubt. Talk to me, somebody. He keeps you bound by confusion and doubt. Why? Because he knows that your purpose is powerful. You know what? Sometimes it's almost as though the enemy knows more about us than we know about ourselves. The enemy views us as more of a threat than we view ourselves. Come on. How does that work? Yeah. But Philippians Come here, Philippians. Philippians 1:6. This is one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. Let's go to the word because God already addressed this whole piece about being stuck on 99. And I'm going to help y'all. We're going to get this breakthrough tonight. I promise you. And if we don't get it tonight, we're going to get it in the coming weeks. I ain't speaking right now, Bishop. I'm in warfare. I'm joking. How you doing, Bishop Simpson? I'm playing. Listen, we're in warfare right now. So understand, if we're going to break the agony of almost, then we have to understand that God has already put a insurance policy in place, if you will. What does he say? In Philippians, addressing the church at Philippi, he says something really powerful. He says, being confident. Help me, somebody, preachers. All right, Bishop, you in here now. I want to hear you comment. I know Brother Dwyer's with me. I know Lisa's with me. He says, being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you, Lisa, in you, Dwayne, in you, Kiki, in you, William, in all of you, he that hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. That means God doesn't do a half job. See, when God saw you, he didn't just see you in your now. I'm preaching better. Y'all letting on tonight. He didn't just see you in your now, but God was looking at you in your now and already saw your next, right? So that's why Jeremiah said he knows the plans that he has for us. Not present plans, but future plans. He knows the plans that he had, thoughts of good and not evil, because he's trying to bring you. And see, after you've gone through the fire, after you've gone through the flood, then he brings you into what the psalmist describes as a wealthy place. And when you understand what the word wealthy place means in its Hebrew etymology, what it means is he's brought you into a place of rich fulfillment. That's why you shouldn't be comfortable being stuck on 99. I'm preaching better. Y'all letting on tonight. See, if you understood, see, Lisa, you didn't go through that hell of the fire or what almost drowned you. Because see, you know what the funny part about it is? See, you were able to walk on what drowned so many other people. See, that's why you weren't overwhelmed by the flood. You didn't almost go under. You could swim when everybody else was sinking. You were walking on stuff because he was still working on you. See, that's why when Elisha was at the brook of Kerith, when he was at the place of cutting, that's what it meant in the Hebrew. He was at the place of cutting. God was performing surgery on him. He felt every incision. He felt every cut. He felt every suture. But while God was working on him, he was also working in him, because he was preparing him for an apex on the apex of Mount Carmel, where he was going to have to fight 450 false prophets. But that's because he that hath begun a good work. And so you can be confident in this. See, while you're stuck and you feel like you're stuck, I hear you. While you're stuck on 99, you can find consolation and rest in knowing that. Because if you really believe he stooped down in the power of his might and picked up a lump of clay and shaped the clay, and into the clay he blew the breath of life, and man became a living. So if you really believe that was him beginning a good work in you. If you haven't liked this live yet, do it for me, please. And if you haven't shared it, go ahead and share it as well. But that was God's way of beginning a good work in you. And the thing about this good work that he has began in you, the scripture says he doesn't stop. Let's break that down. Being confident. What does being confident mean? That means that God wants you to have confidence that he's still working on you. You might not be able to track it. You might not be able to trace it. You might not even be able to trail it. I mean, the creature comforts, the symptom. You might not, oh God, you might not even be experiencing the symptoms of success. But even though you're not experiencing the symptoms of success, you have the substance of success because you got something that rich folk, because I've seen rich folk that had a whole lot of money, but money couldn't buy them peace. But look at you, you go to bed every night. You might not be sleeping on 1,700 thread count sheets. You might not be sleeping in a king size bed. You might be sleeping in a twin size bed, but you go to bed every night. You got peace that passeth all understanding. You might not have all that you want, but you got all that you need. That's why you can be confident. And that's what you should, anything that you go through, you should have confidence, being confident what? That he began the work. Listen, beloved. Let me calm down. Let me act like I got some sense. Because listen, you didn't call yourself. What's up, Alicia? How you doing, sweetie? You didn't call yourself. When God called me in 1990, he started calling me in 93. I ran for about 3 months. I did. I tried at my last straw. I tried to go and join the Air Force. I thought if I joined the Air Force, God couldn't get me to preach. I mean, even I'm not thinking that I'm not present, that there's no spot that he's not. I just thought if I could get away, at least I was just running. And so I ran for a minute, right? But because I really wanted to be a stockbroker. I wanted to do something else that I just didn't want to preach. But at the end of the day, I didn't call myself. I didn't give myself the purpose. God gave me the purpose. Yeah. God gave me the purpose. God attached me. And see, same thing with you. If you're stuck, if you're dealing with the agony of almost, you got to realize your purpose really is not about you, Brother Dwight. Your purpose is not about you. It's so many other thousands of people that need to hear the mindset coach, that need to hear what you have to say. So many people on this that are listening to this message, whether they're listening live or whether they're listening at the replay. Your destiny is not only about you. See, sometimes somebody else's destiny is tied up in you, and they're waiting on you to help them unlock what's had them locked up so that they can move forward in their purpose. Does that make sense? And Lisa said sometimes the purpose comes after the pain. I can relate to that. But being confident, not only that, that's the first thing in the scripture, being confident, but then also knowing that he began the work. But not only that he began the work, but guess what? This is the consolation we can take, that he will form it. See, God ain't like man. What God starts, he finishes. I think one of the proudest moments I think I made in my family was I was 35 years old, I think I was, and I finally finished my college degree. And to see the look on look of pride on their faces, to see me with that cap and gown on, getting ready to walk across that stage, it didn't even mean a whole lot to me, because I don't get moved by a whole lot of accomplishments like that. I'm learning how to mark milestones. But in that moment, I was excited. I mean, they were so excited to me because I finished. And see, let me speak prophetic. See, sometimes when you walk with a prophetic eye, see, a lot of times you see situations, you see the beginning and you see the end, but you don't always see the process. Let me say that again. See, when you walk with a prophetic eye, sometimes you'll see the end, you'll see the beginning, but you don't always see the process, because when you see it in the beginning, you only see it done, right? And sometimes I would see things done that I didn't even know how to do. And I would pray that God would put me around people that would, when I gave them the vision, like Habakkuk said, when I wrote it down, I would write it, or I would articulate it in such a way that men would see it, and then once they saw it, they would be able to run with it. When I would see a thing in its infancy, I would see it done, and if I didn't tell the right people, then that vision would just lie dormant it would never come to pass. So I've been sitting on dreams and visions that I saw done years ago because I saw it in the prophetic. I saw it in the next. I didn't just only see it in the now. That's how God, when he begins a work in us, he sees that work performed. When what God starts, he finishes. You might feel like you're on 99, but God didn't bring you to 99 to stop. He brings you to 99 so that's the pedestal. See, because when you get to 99, you can look back over 98, 97, 96, 95, 94, 90. You can look back over everything that God had brought you through to get, and that's what is equipping you to walk forward into your defined destiny. That's what helps you unlock your purpose. So if God started the work in you, why are you still doubting yourself? Why is the mailbox still up on Barely Goodlong Boulevard? Why is the mailbox still up on Almost Avenue? If you know, and you know beyond the shadow of a doubt, you know that God started the work in you. But here it is. This is why you can't stay stuck. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And I want you all. He said, "Well, sir, my 80s nigga." That was a strong voice. He said something like, "I a charge." My bad. To keep. I love those deacons. So you're going back and getting one right there, man. That's a good one. Remember? Yeah. I'm sorry. I like to do that every now and then. So let me ask you something. Ooh, I'm sorry, my bad. I keep having a little flashback thinking about this calling on my life. Let me ask you something. What happens if you stay at 99? Y'all give me some answers. Dwayne, you give me some answers. Alicia, you give me some answers. Lisa, y'all give me some answers. Then I'm gonna give you my answers. Right? I'm gonna think about this hymn a little bit more. But made all my power and gain. What happens if you stay at 99? I gotta do my master will. Ooh. If you stay at 99, what happens? Tell me. I guarantee you what won't happen. You definitely would not. If you stay at 99, because that's magna cum laude. Complacency, definitely. If you unfulfillment, definitely. And bring it a little more practical. What happens? Because what happened? The work will be incomplete. What else? Staying anywhere too long equals no growth. You become stagnant. What else? Untapped potential. Those are good answers. What else? I guarantee you one thing: the business you were supposed to start, it'll stay a dream if you stay at 99. What else? Y'all talk back to me. I promise you, Lisa, the book you were supposed to write, it'll never get written. Never. It'll never get written. Never get written. The people who need to hear your testimony, they'll never hear it. The truth is, you'll never reach your goal. The truth is, your purpose isn't just about you. Somebody's breakthrough is tied to your obedience. It's tight, but it's right. Do you realize the Bible talks about good success? Yes, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Someone else will do it, but they can't take your blessing, because if they do it and then you do it, y'all both will get blessed. Right? Because your calling is custom made. It's made just for you. The gifts and callings of God are without repentance. When he puts that calling on you, he that has begun a good work will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Yes. Let me give you an example. When I was writing when I was writing my book, when I was writing Stuck on the Couch, this is it. Anybody ever want to get, if you want to get a copy of it, I'll give you the discounted price of $20 plus shipping. Just hit me up and I'll get that to you. But if when I was writing my book, Alicia, I'm talking to you now, Alicia. But when I was writing my book, I experienced long periods of writer's block. I would get in a rhythm and I would write a couple of chapters, I would get into a good rhythm, recanting and recalling. You read it? Let's write, Lisa, you did read it. Recanting and recalling my story, right? But then all of a sudden I go through writer's block, and I wouldn't go through it for like 3 or 4 days. I would go through it for months, and then I start writing again. And then then after a while, when I went back and read the book, I rewrote several sections over and over again, because it was kind of like I was procrastinating, but then again, I couldn't understand why I'm going through this writer's block. And then it looked like chapters were out of place. And then as I went through it, and that's the thing about it, y'all, we got to go through it. You see, notice I didn't put up a mailbox. I knew that wasn't my permanent. I knew I had to finish because I started the work. And so I had to finish what I started, right? But I kept going through these periods of writer's block. And when I got right almost near the end, then all of a sudden, God said something to me. He said, Kirk, those periods of writer's block is you was living out the next chapter of your life. He said, I was giving you a little something else to write. He said, I was giving you a little bit more of your testimony, because everything was in the past. Everything was a constant bleed. And if you read it, you'll look at it, and you'll see that I wrote chapter 1. And I think chapter 1 might have said something like, now I'm ready. I wrote chapter 1 at the end because God was letting me live out what I was going through so that I could go back and write it from a different lens and from a different perspective, because God was. And see, what God will do with you is he'll allow you to go through different chapters of life. There you go, Alicia. He'll give you a story and then let you document that story. Once you document that story, now he gives you the next chapter. We all are living life's script. And even in that moment, it felt like I was agonizing because I was stuck on Almost Avenue. I couldn't quite finish it, and it hurt. I mean, I'm like, God, what's really going on? And it just didn't make sense. But then all of a sudden, all of those pieces of the puzzle started to come together. And then I got an editor, and the editor started helping me make this thing flow, and everything started to work. And then next thing you know, I got a literary work. That's what God does with our life. He takes pieces and pieces and pieces, and we think they're fragmented pieces, but no, they're not fragmented pieces. They're just broken pieces, and broken pieces can be put back together again, especially when it's done by the master's hands. See, I know exactly what it's like to be almost there, but not be quite there. But the moment I decided to stop hesitating and start walking in faith, everything in my life began to shift. I like that, Alicia. She said, once that story comes together, then guess what? It blesses everybody else, because now they're able to hear your story. And somebody will say, you know what? He's not the only one going through, because you'll see some, at least I used to tell folks, don't let the smooth taste fool you, please. Don't let it fool you. I mean, just because you see me smiling, and sometimes I'm not smiling. Sometimes it looks like I'm frowning, but I'm really just thinking, right? I'm really just kind of thinking, but to tell them don't let the smooth taste fool you. So and when I stopped hesitating, when I stopped hesitating and everything shifted, that's really what I want for you. I want everything to shift in your life. I want you to get beyond the place where you're agonizing because you're stuck on Almost Avenue. So here's the solution. Well, I'm gonna give you part of the solution. Hold on, I'm looking up something right now on my phone. But here's the solution. Because we have to figure out how to get off of Almost Avenue. I know it's an A, and I'm probably telling you something because 99 is an A. 99 really is an A. So I'm probably telling you something that probably sounds a little bit contradictory, right? Uh because everybody wants to make all A's, but in this instance, I really need us to make 100, right? So I got to get us off of Almost Avenue, and you know where I got to get us to? I got to get us to the Purpose Penthouse. I got to get us walking in purpose. I got to get us from Almost Avenue, and I got to get us to the Purpose Penthouse. We have to make it to a place called purpose, to a position called purpose. And if we ever get to that position of called purpose, then we will be able to walk forward into not only being comfortable at 99, we'll be able to walk into 100. Does that make sense? So I've come up with this purpose, PURPOSE framework, and I'm going to be breaking that down. I'm not going to do it tonight, so y'all pray for me. I'm not going to do it tonight, but I'm going to do it on Wednesday night in my webinar. You see on the screen, I just put it up, Breaking the Agony of Almost. Breaking the Agony of Almost. Breaking the Agony of Almost. Unlocking my purpose. Breaking the Agony of Almost. Unlocking my purpose. If you look there in the chat, I've already put the link. You can click on that link, register for the webinar. It's going to be Wednesday night at 9 p.m. It's only about 35, 40 minutes at the most, about 35, 40 minutes. And I'm going to break down this purpose framework. Every letter in purpose, PURPOSE, serves a purpose. They're all significant. I'll give you the first one. I'm going to give you a sneak preview. The first one is to pause. When you find yourself stuck on 99 and you're not moving forward, you're not moving farther, the first thing, I'm going to give you the first one tonight. This is a sneak preview. The first one is to pause and reflect. Pause and to reflect. So in this webinar, I'm going to teach you several things. I'm going to teach you how to identify what's really keeping you stuck. How to identify what's really keeping you stuck. Second thing I'm going to do is teach you how to overcome fear and self-doubt. You got to overcome fear and self-doubt. I see you, Lisa. Lisa said, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. And then the third thing I'm going to teach you is how to finally move from, man, quit giving them, pause and reflect. Hey, kid, quit giving them hints, bro. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking, Simp. But they got to listen Wednesday night. You got to listen Wednesday night. Got to log. You did it too, Lisa. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna give you the first hint tonight for real. Pause and reflect. I would give you number 2. No, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna do it. But finally, the third thing I'm gonna teach is how to finally move on from almost to accomplished. I'm gonna teach you how to move on from almost to accomplished, right? But listen, this is just for people who are serious about stepping into their purpose, and those who are truly on the path to better. If you're really on the path to better, then this webinar is for you. It's free. It's Zoom. Listen, it starts at 9. I don't know how to work Zoom real good, so if you come at 9:05, 9:10, you're late, I don't know how to let you in. So try to get there 5 minutes early if you can. I saw people last week that were trying to get in after it was over and after it started, and I didn't know how to get out to let them in. So I'm sorry if I don't know how to do those kind of things, but I might have somebody else doing that for me this week. I'll figure it out. But it starts at 9 o'clock, and I really need you all to register. Now, listen, I'm going to give you a free gift if you register. I'm going to allow you to download a free ebook that I've done that breaks down the purpose framework. Okay, I'm going to give you that free ebook. It's Wednesday night at 9 p.m. You have to register. Once you're registered, you're going to receive an email. Check your junk mail because it might be in your junk mail, and it'll have the Zoom link. It'll have all the pertinent information, tell you how to get in, all those kinds of things. But let me tell you this as I get ready to close. Now, the phone number is there. So if there are any testimonies or if anybody wants to call, you better call fast because I'm about to get off here because I ain't going to lie. I got to go to work in the morning. I got to go work tomorrow. I got to go to work in the morning. So, I want to tell you this as I get ready to close tonight. As I get ready to close, the phone is on. No dinner gift cards. If you would like to sponsor those, you're welcome to get that. Bishop Simpson said he would be buying the dinner gift. How much is it going to be, Bishop? How much is it going to be since you're sponsoring that tonight? Remember, God did not call you to almost. Let me let that marinate for a moment. God did not call you to almost. He called you to finish what he started in you. Do you hear me? God did not call you to almost. So we got to break the agony of almost. He called you to finish what he started in you. Remember this, that he that you can be confident in the very thing, because he that began a good work in you, he will accomplish it. He's going to finish it until the day of Jesus Christ. So if you're ready to finally move from 99 to 100, I want you to do 3 things right now. If you're really ready to move on, I see not many people are still hanging on, but if you are ready to move forward, do me a favor, drop a "I'm ready" in the comments. If this message spoke to you, just put "I'm ready," type those words, "I'm ready." Then click the link in the description or in the chat to sign up for the free webinar. And then number 3, share this episode with somebody else who you know personally has been stuck in the agony of almost. Share this with them. Let them know how the message blessed you. If you share it on your page, let people know. Yeah, thank you, Lisa. Lisa says she's ready. Drop "I'm ready" in the comments. Drop "I'm ready." Click the link in the description to sign up for the free webinar. And share this episode. If you have not shared it, share it with somebody that you know has been stuck in the agony of almost. I'll see you on Wednesday night in the webinar, and together we're going to step fully. Tonight was just a glimpse. Tonight was just a glimpse of what we're gonna do. But I'm so glad he doesn't almost make a way, almost heal me, almost protect me, almost. Nah, he doesn't do anything almost. He does. He accomplishes it every time, and that's what I like about it. So I'll see you in the webinar on Wednesday, and together we're going to step fully. We took a step or two tonight. We took a step or two tonight. But when I break down that purpose framework, it's going to give you a roadmap to the place that I'm calling better. And I don't know about you, but I want everybody that's in the Stew Crew, everybody that hangs out with me, I want us all to be on the path to better. I want us getting better jobs, making more money. I want us traveling. I want us doing all kind of things together and doing it in koinonia, in fellowship, right? So this has been James Kirkland, and this is, if all hearts and minds are clear and no one is going to call in, this has been the Intellectual Stew with James Kirkland. And what I want you to do, remember this, always remember that the world is changing. But my question for you is, why do you remain the same? Until next time, in the blink of an eye, everything can change. 20 years of marriage, 3 beautiful children, a home filled with memories, gone. James Kirkland II was left with nothing but the silence of his own thoughts and a couch that became his prison. But in the depths of despair, subtle reminders of purpose began to pierce through the darkness. God had not forgotten him.
In every small sign, in every whisper, in the stillness, James began to rediscover who he was and why he was still here. Stuck on the Couch is not just a story of loss, but a journey of resilience, faith, and the courage to embrace a new normal. Available now wherever books are sold.